So this is basically the nursery area.
So it's a bit like our
at the
children and
moment.
our
It
families
is,
that go through different stages.
Yeah, that's right. And one of the things that we use with permaculture is a thing called zoning. That's one of the tools, the principles of permaculture is zoning. And this really applies to the placement of objects in the most efficient place for what that object is. And as these are baby plants, they're right outside the home. They need more attention than all the plants that are more mature. They've got to have water, they've got to be pest free, they've got to have the right amount of sunlight so that they mature well. So it's all about initial stages of growth, and it's about right outside where you can get to them easily. If they were a long, long way away, they would suffer and they wouldn't get what they need. So we have them right here. And we've got tomatoes in pots over there waiting to go into the polytunnel after the weekend when we get the plastic on it.
Now, I have a young man that I'm working with who's coming to visit us at Willowbridge now, and he's got a very confined space and is really keen to grow things, especially a banana plant, which we're working on.
Yeah.
But the idea is that he can grow a tomato on the windowsill in his bedroom, can't he?
Yes, he certainly can, yeah. If that bedroom gets a lot of sun, then he can definitely have a tomato plant on that windowsill. Absolutely, and he must feed it because obviously the pot's going to be quite small, so it's going to need tomato feed or a homemade feed if he can make it here and then take it away with him.
Wonderful,
Okay.
and we can look at how you make a homemade feed here through your composting techniques that you're policing us all in doing.
Absolutely, yes.
So, other than the tomatoes, what else have we got going on over here?
Right, okay. Well, the attention is on a very relaxed way of controlling what's growing. I allow a lot of weeds to come up because I think they're really important to draw insects into the garden. But I don't allow the weeds to take over. They're allowed to be there and be there in a synergistic way. So that's why I've left some of them to grow up through the rest of the herbs so that they're drawing in beneficial insects to keep the pests down.
Right, now I was going to ask you about that because, I mean, a lot of people have said to me they've tried to grow things and it's been attacked by aphids or what have you. How do you combat that, Dawn?
Okay, lots of planting, basically. We were faced with this very same problem when Ant and I first started gardening here. Because the place was completely bereft of a diversity of plants, we had to get plants in the ground quickly that were going to attract beneficial insects like ladybirds and hoverflies, okay, and lacewings. So we're planting herbs and annual flowering herbs like the yellow calendula there.
Our Ruby checks everything out of that bridge.
Just to make sure that it's okay.
Sorry, yes.
So yeah, the yellow calendula is a really lovely attractant plant. It's also a plant that the pests will go to, so the aphids will actually go onto the plant and eat the plant.
So this is the calendula or marigold here. Yeah. Now I use this in herbs and aromatherapy because it's brilliant for skin creams, isn't it? You can make oils and creams from that.
And we'll be doing that when we've got enough flowers. We'll be collecting the flowers to use the petals in an oil to make creams with.
And you can use them in salads as well.
You certainly can, yeah. They're very edible and they add a lot of colour to the salad. So, and then we've got a lot of interplanting of spinach and rocket and herbs like fennel.
So what have we got here?
This is a creeping thyme, isn't that beautiful?
Now that's an antiseptic, anti-infective,
antifungal, antiviral.
And you can see flavours. It has a lovely flavour, doesn't it?
It does, and it's a bee plant as well, so the bees really love the flowers at this time of year. And this is going to go out into a bigger pot at some point so that it can continue growing, and then we'll take cuttings off it so that we can propagate more plants and then swap them and exchange them with other people. So they have this beautiful purple plant as well.
Lovely immune stimulants. So people have compromised immune systems. That's excellent to have around. Yeah. And what have we got growing in these trays? Because these are real little babies,
They
aren't
are
they?
tiny little babies that really want to go into bigger pots or in the ground. That's hyssop, and that again has a very dark purple flower. It's another attractant plant, and it makes a lovely edging plant at the edge of a border or a lawn, or making little knot gardens like the monks used to do in the knot gardens of medieval times. And you can clip it back, and it'll keep flowering every year. It's a very pretty little thing.
And medicinally, hyssop it's a biblical herb. It's mentioned a lot in the Bible, but it's also very good for bruising and for blood clots, that kind of thing. Again, very immunostimulant. How would you use that in your cooking? Because you use everything that you have here in your cooking.
In the cooking, we'll probably make a tea. Okay, so to drink it, and maybe mix it with some other herbs, depending on what we want to gain from that. And you can actually use hyssop oil as well as a skin preparation. We won't be making sort of essential oils here because we don't have a distillery, which is a very involved process, but hyssop oil is quite available to buy, not too expensively. But we can certainly use it in its raw form like that in a tea. So,
is this a fennel?
This is bulbing fennel. Yeah, we'll go and see some bigger ones of that in the garden in a little while. And I potted some on to sort of exchange with people. And next to it, this is clary sage or Salvia sclerea, which is a women's hormone-based herb, and it helps with the menstrual cycle. And it's a mood alterative as well, particularly with women. If we're feeling quite depressed, if we smell the clary sage flower when it's in flower, it lifts our mood quite rapidly. It's a very, very, very important herb.
Now, this is, I obviously as an aromatherapist, I work with these oils, and I've worked with young people who have had addiction problems and experienced the bad effects of substance abuse many times. And clary sage is one of the oils that I've always said you can get a high off. You don't actually need to go down the route of things that will damage you. And of course, this was always used to adulterate German muscadet wines. They would put the oil in, so it would enhance the alcoholic effects without actually having much of the fermentation process. So the only thing with this is you have to be careful not to drink with it because it makes the effects of a hangover even worse. So there we go. Using natural things, it's quite possible to improve moods and to relax and to enjoy yourself as well without the damaging effects of abusive substances. So is this more chard?
This is more rainbow chard, yes, just waiting to be planted out now. And as you can see, we've got a rocket forest here, which was the intent. It's all in flower now, and these are lovely, lovely edible flowers. They taste absolutely wonderful.
Can I try one of these?
Yeah. Very, very sweet, but with a hot aftertaste as well. And we put these in salads.
Oh, that's lovely. And this is a rocket?
It's rocket, yeah. Yeah, it's just ordinary rocket.
It really takes your palate off, doesn't it?
It's very, very good. And I find that children really love rocket flowers. They keep coming and picking them. Because it's a full taste, you know. There's nothing synthetic about it. You can't really get it in salads that you buy in the shops. You know, but you can grow it so simply. And as it seeds quite prolifically, you can see the bees loving it there as well. Pollinating that, you'll always have rocket, and it will even grow in the cracks of the paving slabs as well, as the seed gets in there.
It isn't difficult to have a balanced, healthy diet, really, Dawn,
Not really, no. I mean, you can see in this very small space, you know, we've got a salad just growing in one little strip, you know, with the spinach, the fennel, the rocket, the calendula flowers, and some lettuces, you know, so it's very, very easy to grow and spend far less money buying things that other people have grown for you in foreign lands and shipping them over here full of chemicals and synthetics.